welcome back to my channel. It's Faye here, and for today I am back with another flower nose unboxing with the butterfly cloud color collection. And can we just give a little second to like how my press-on nails that I made matches the little collection that we have. Well, it's a big collection, so this piece is very big, so I'm just gonna edit this out to match like where we are in this transition. I also wasn't going to get the full collection, but because of the dresser, it's blue and it has like this swallowtail mother of pearl motifs in the design of traditional Chinese art, I just really had to get it. But for the whole collection, I've got some words to say just to pick on things, because out of all of the collections, this collection is far by my least favorite, and that's a lot coming from me because I don't have like a least favorite from flower nose. Like I used to like find that really hard, but now hands down this is the collection that I would just like, yeah, it's this collection. So I'm first unboxing, as you can see here, the cloud color embossed highlight and contour palette. And in the international store there's two different shades, and this one is the 01 leaf shadow, and this is for people with more color, as I would like to say. But to be fair, I still think that the color is a bit more light, and I'm pretty like, I am tan but I'm not that tan, but I can get really tan in summer, if this makes sense. And this is tawny tea, and this is more of your cooler traditional contour shades. And let's be real, if I put this on my face and it's the peak of summer, it's gonna look a little ashy. I'm also just swatching on my skin what they look like. The first one I'm swatching is the leaf shadow, and as you can see, it looks very pretty on my skin. And the first glittery highlighter bit, I could probably put that in my eyes. If I diffuse it, it'll probably give me like a beautiful corally glow on my cheeks. And I really like the powders on this collection though, because it is very blendable. And the little slight sheen on the bronzer coat on the leaf shadow face palette, it is really pretty onto the skin, because it just really gives you that subtle glow. And then on tawny tea, as you can see, it is more cooler and it does show up on my skin, but guaranteed if I blend this out, it's gonna be gone. I tell you, it's gonna be gone. But here are the swatches, so you guys are aware that if you are darker than me, it's good luck, it's not gonna show. Like, yeah. Moving on from the blushes, it's called the Butterfly Cloud Color Rouge Box Highlighting and Blush Duo Powder. And honestly, the packaging is so cute, but they're also very bulky. But nonetheless, you know, they came out with 5 different shades. So this is 01 Rouge Snow, and then this is Seaborn Moon in the color blue. And then number 3 is Pastel Lotus, number 4 is Fluttering Romance, and number 5 is Powered. Honestly, Powered is also my favorite. So these are all matte blushes, so even the highlighting side is also matte. It doesn't have any glitter. And as much as I love how intricate the designs are inside, I'm also a little bit disappointed because the previous collection from the Midsummer Fairy Tale is already a matte blush. Now, you know, one can argue that you're getting 2 blushes in one, which is true, but if you're a person with color, it doesn't really matter, because one of those are not gonna show on your cheeks unless you put them on your eye with a primer, then it will. Regardless of it though, the blendability of these blushes are phenomenal and they will never disappoint. It will always look seamless on your skin. But on these swatches, I'm going to show you how the highlighting part of this blush just literally looks white on me. So if you're darker than me, you know which ones to avoid or what it may look on you, because yeah. And disclaimer, these are not single swatches because 1, they're blushes, and 2, I want to be able to show you guys the color onto my skin, but my arm is not primed, so it's just dry swatches. As y'all can see, some of them are really light, but Pearwood is actually kind of my favorite because it is such a good neutral blush. Now this is the side-by-side comparison of the blushes in the Midsummer Fairy Tales, and as you can see, the ones at the bottom, they look really identical to the ones from the Cloud Color collection, except that they're just really more vivid. So if you're trying to pick up one of the blushes, I would just recommend to go and get the one in Midsummer Fairy Tale, because guaranteed that's more pigmented and it will show up on your skin, and it can still be diffused because, you know, they are still very blendable and it just works really well. You cannot go wrong with their blushes. But yeah, this is really disappointing because it's a new collection, so I would have expected like a different shade or whatsoever, but yeah, we move. So that's just word of advice in my humble opinion. Moving on to the Embossed 6 color makeup palettes, they came out with 3 different color schemes. Number 1 is the Terracotta Brick, number 2 is Cloud Attire, and then number 3 is Incense Purple Haze. Now I do believe that there is also an exclusive China region for the first shade, but for international it is the Terracotta Brick. Now I do believe that the design for the outer packaging tries to tie it with the glossy lipstick collections I have, and you'll see it later. So this is just the Terracotta Bricks, and as you can see, it's your warm tone eyeshadow palette, which is very beautiful, and I think it has a lot of use for autumn and I think summer if you are a neutral girly, and it's just a very beautiful. And I really love how this specific palette is so pigmented that it really wowed me. Now the second palette, the Cloud Attire, it is also very pigmented and it's also good for your everyday neutral pinky shade. As you guys can see, the colors aren't so out there. It is very safe, so you can use this for daily use. Moving on to the third palette, the Incense Purple Haze. The packaging is the only purple in this palette, let's be real, because when I open it, yes, it is a cool tone mauve shade, but there's no purple. I was expecting like a little bit of a pop of color, but girl, when I put this on my arm or on my eyes, it's just ashy. So I was very disappointed and I got beef. I got beef who approved that palette. But regardless, moving on, this is the swatches for the eyeshadow palettes, and as you can see, Terracotta Brick is a beauty. Like, oh my gosh, I was so amazed. Just look at that sparkle. It's out of this world, I'm telling you. Like, if there's one thing that Flower Nose always gets, it's the sparkles in the eyeshadow palettes. It's amazing. Now this is the Cloud Attire, and as you can see, it's very pink with a hint of a little purpley pink. So it is a very contrasting shade from Terracotta Brick, and I personally really love that. Moving on to the Incense Purple Haze, you guys are gonna understand why I absolutely despise the name, because it doesn't match the colors of the palette. Like, where in the heck is purple in this swatches? This is even warmer than Cloud Attire, and that's what baffles me, because that's insane. But the sparkles are pretty though, don't get me wrong, but can you guys see? Can you guys see where I'm coming from? Another remake that they came out with is the liquid eyeliners. They first came out in the Moonlight Mermaid collection, so I was very critical of these products just because the Moonlight Mermaid version one is one of my staples when I want to draw eyeliner, just because it is so good. It's so fine, and it's so budge proof, waterproof. And as you can see, it is a little bit more watery when I first started, but maybe it will be more opaque when I give it more time. But now I would just use my Moonlight Mermaid up first and then have this one a go. And I will show you guys the side-by-side comparison from Moonlight Mermaid in a second. So these are my Moonlight Mermaid eyeliner babies, and as you can see, the eyeliner for the black in Moonlight Mermaid is more pigmented than the cloud color one, but the brown one is actually alright and pretty identical, so I would think it's just another repackage because they're going to discontinue Moonlight Mermaid sooner or later. So if I'm just recommending you, if you guys want to get it cheaper, then just go get the Moonlight Mermaid, because that was on the previous collection. I think they came out in 2023, and that was like the very first collection I bought. That is like the whole thing. Moving on to the mascaras, they also came out with two, one brown and one black, and these are very different from the Chocolate Wonder Shop, because not only the brush is different, but this is in a wetter consistency, and for me, I would prefer a little drier consistency because I've got Asian eyes and I'm just really scared that it will smudge on my lower eye and then I have to start all over again. And if I have no time in the morning, I am very screwed. So this is the side-by-side comparison with the Choco Wonder Shop, and they are literally the same size, just different packaging, as you can see. But the ones are very different, and also like what formula there is in, so take it as you will of what you will prefer. But for me, I just want to go safe, and I will take the Choco Wonder Shop more. But you know, moving on to the Glossy lipstick collection, they came out with 9 shades, and surprisingly, I really like the formula for these glossy lipsticks, and also the range selection of the colors. So CO1 to CO3, they're more your neutrals. Then CO4 to CO6 is more your pinky nudes. And then 0709 is your reddish colors. Now, I wish they would have released like deeper, darker shades like they used to before Chocolate Wonder Shop, but one could dream. Not gonna lie, when the collection first came out for the lipsticks, I was very interested in what they would look like side by side with the Swan Ballet collection, because, you know, did they re-release the shades or did they not? But honestly, these colors are more neutral, because the Swan Ballet colors tend to pull really warm. The ones that I have, even though it says it's like a neutral or on the pinky side of the shade families, they're very warm when they dry down. But the glossy lipsticks from Butterfly Cloud Color collection is a recommend. So if you guys can pass the packaging, because for me, honestly speaking, I would love if the packaging on the lid would be embossed rather than printed, because to me it just doesn't tie with the collection designs. Then I would recommend getting this, because they are very long lasting and there's more variety in the colors rather than the Swan Ballet collection. And as you guys see from the comparison from Swan Ballet to the Butterfly Cloud Color, the Butterfly Cloud Color is the one on the top, and then the bottom one is the Swan Ballet collection. That the lipsticks are very well, not very different, but they are different in shades and tones, so there is no duplicate, thank God, for the lipsticks that they came out with for this collection. And I am really happy for that, because I like how the colors look different on my lips. They also came out with 2 different perfumes. One is Ephemeral Dream, so it has a woody, a soapy floral notes, and then the Snowy Gardenia that has the fresh sweet florals, and If you guys gonna ask me what I like more, it's definitely the Snowy Gardenia. It's so nice on the skin, but also this is one of my favorite packaging designs of the perfumes because it is so beautiful. Like, I cannot even stress that. It just looks so ethereal. And another ethereal accessories that we have is the mirrors. The mirrors are to die for. They are also one of my favorites just because, as I said, I really love the traditional art of old dynasty. So when I saw these, I was so in love. And if you guys had a chance, definitely pick one up. And this came an eyelash color. I can't really say anything about it. And then the brushes are also really pretty. Even the names are so pretty. But you know, they're just brushes. You guys can make do what you guys with it, but they never miss with the details as per usual. Now the two collectibles that the all-in set came in, I have beef with because one, I know the sentiment of the pins that they have because it is the traditional pins and whatsoever. However, it doesn't go with the collection itself. And number two, the porcelain. Where is the print from the back? I cannot believe that they were lacking in that side. This is printed, and how can you miss the back? Like, honestly, just like make it make sense. Because I have seen better from Flower Nose. So moving on, thank you so much for sticking into my unboxing rant. I'm not saying the collection is bad, it's just like the design feels a little rushed for, like, if you look at it as a whole, because you know the mirrors match with the perfumes, but then suddenly the lipsticks don't match with the contour palettes. So if it was more cohesive, then I would have loved it more. But yeah, take it as you will, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.